Once upon a time, there was a lush green forest full of life. It was the common home of all creatures, from little birds chirping on the tall branches to herds of deer joyfully running beneath the trees. Life in the forest was peaceful, with birds singing every day, leaves rustling, and the fresh air of nature. All the animals bonded and relied on one another, creating a world filled with joy and happiness. However, that peace did not last forever. One day, disaster suddenly struck. A fierce fire broke out in the forest, starting from small bushes and quickly spreading wide. The strong wind made the flames even more violent, devouring tree trunks and grasses alike. Thick black smoke covered the sky, while suffocating heat filled the air. The forest animals fell into panic. Birds frantically scattered. Herds of animals big and small rushed to escape, searching for a way out. Shrieks and cries echoed everywhere, fear engulfing the once peaceful forest. No one knew what to do to escape the raging fire. Only the instinct to survive drove them to run as far as possible. In that moment, the once beautiful green forest suddenly turned into a blazing sea of fire, full of smoke and chaos, signaling a harsh trial for all living beings there. As the fire raged fiercely, thick black smoke rose high and spread all the way to a small village near the forest. The villagers, seeing the bright red flames and the heavy smoke, grew deeply worried. They knew that if the fire was not stopped, the vast forest, their source of life, water, and shade, would be reduced to ashes. Without hesitation, they all rushed toward the forest. In their hands were no modern firefighting tools, only wooden buckets, pieces of cloth, or anything that could hold water. Some carried buckets, others brought wet blankets. Groups hurriedly worked together, trying to save the forest. The sounds of running footsteps and urgent shouts mixed with the crackling flames, creating a scene both frantic and chaotic. Everyone was drenched in sweat, their faces covered with soot, but not a single person stopped. Meanwhile, as the people fought with all their strength, high above in the trees, a little bird sat in its nest. Its eyes shone with fear as it watched the flames spread closer and closer. Its nest rested on a branch, not far from the raging fire. The little bird knew that if the flames crept just a bit further, its tiny home would be turned into ashes. At that moment, the bird's heart trembled. It thought of flying far away to save itself. But then, a pang of guilt struck. It realized that if it flew away, not only its home, but countless others would be destroyed. And if everyone chose to flee, who would stay behind to protect the forest? After a brief moment of hesitation, the little bird took a deep breath. Its wings trembled, but its eyes gradually grew determined. It knew it was far too small to save the entire forest, but it also knew that if it just stood by and watched, everything would be gone forever. In its heart, a powerful thought echoed, "Maybe I can't extinguish the fire, but I must do something, even if it's only a small effort." Without waiting another second, the little bird darted straight toward the nearby river. The cool water reflected the smoke-filled sky, but it paid no mind. It dipped its tiny beak into the water, scooping up a few precious drops, and quickly flew back. Its frail wings flapped tirelessly through the stinging smoke, struggling, yet determined. When it arrived, the bird tilted its head, releasing the tiny drops onto the raging fire. They evaporated almost instantly, making no difference at all. But the little bird did not lose heart. It turned around, flew back to the river, gathered more water, and returned again. That action repeated itself countless times. Though its body grew exhausted, its wings weak, and its breath heavy, the flame in its heart still burned brightly. It knew well. It could not change everything, but at least it had the courage to rise and refuse to fold its wings in silence. As the little bird persisted in flying back and forth, on a nearby branch, an old owl had been watching. Its large round eyes glimmered with mockery, and soon a hoarse laugh rang out amid the smoky chaos. The old owl shook its head and sneered, "Foolish one, do you truly believe that with your tiny beak and those meager drops of water you can save this vast forest? Look around you. Fire is devouring everything. Your efforts are nothing but futile." Those words cut through the air like sharp blades, heavy and bitter. The little bird heard them, and its weary wings seemed to droop further. It was truly tired, its eyes burning from the smoke, its breath quick and shallow. For a moment it paused, hovering in silence, as if weighing the owl's words. The flames still roared furiously, scorching heat searing every fragile feather. The little bird could have given up, surrendered, and flown away, just as the owl had bitterly advised. But in its tired eyes, a spark of determination flickered. It looked straight at the owl, and though its voice was small, it was steady, warm, and full of courage. "I know my strength is small. I know a few drops of water cannot put out this sea of fire, but at least I will not have regrets. When it is all over, I will be able to hold my head high and say that I tried my very best. I cannot sit idly, wings folded, waiting for others to act. This is my part, and I will not give up." The old owl, hearing this, was stunned into silence, unable to say another word. Silence fell after the little bird's resolute reply. Though the fire still crackled and black smoke billowed high, for a brief moment it seemed as if all other sounds hushed, making way for that courage to echo. The old owl, once so confident in its mockery, suddenly fell speechless. It could not find a single argument to refute the bravery of the tiny creature before it. The little bird, though its wings were weary, radiated a special kind of light, not from its fragile body, but from its burning spirit. It did not deny the truth. The fire was too vast, its strength too small. Yet instead of surrendering, it chose to keep flying, to keep carrying drops of water, even knowing the result might be insignificant. In that moment, the little bird taught everyone a lesson. True value does not lie in immediate results, but in the courage to act. It understood that fear and helplessness could save no one. Only when we take action, even the smallest step, can hope continue to exist. The old owl, with all its wisdom and experience, found no answer. Faced with such an example of courage, it was forced into silence. Its mocking gaze turned into confusion and gradually shifted into respect. That story reminds us, true strength is not measured by size or ability, but by will and determination. And sometimes, the tiniest drops of water, when repeated without end, become symbols of courage, a torch that shines for those standing before the choice between action and surrender. After replying to the owl, the little bird no longer hesitated. It knew it could not extinguish the sea of flames alone, but in its heart shone a clear belief. What mattered most was not immediate victory, but unceasing effort. Whatever the outcome, at least it had chosen to rise, to act, instead of fleeing. The fire still raged wildly, yet each flight of the little bird seemed to light up the smoky sky. Every drop of water, though so small as to seem meaningless, carried within it the strength of courage, of hope, and of unwavering resolve. The message that echoes from this story is a reminder for us all. Even God only helps those who help themselves. If we simply sit idly, arms folded, waiting for miracles, those miracles will never come. Life always demands that we act, that we step onto our own path. Every step, every effort, no matter how small, holds value. A single drop may not put out a fire, but thousands of drops can form a stream. One step may not bring us to the destination, but hundreds of steps can open an entire journey. And it is thanks to such perseverance and resolve that people grow, overcoming the harshest challenges. Like the little bird, we need not wait for perfection or great strength to begin. The only thing we must do is dare to try, to persist, to move forward bit by bit. The image of the little bird amidst the sea of flames is not only the story of a fragile creature, but a symbol of courage and an unyielding spirit. It reminds us that in this life, no effort is ever wasted. Each drop of water, though tiny, when repeated with persistence, can become a force that changes an entire situation. Life always places us before challenges, sometimes so immense they make us falter. Yet instead of complaining or folding our arms to wait, we must ask ourselves, what have I done, however small, to make a difference? For only in action can we preserve faith and nurture hope. The little bird has taught us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to face it and act, even when we know we are weak. Perseverance does not always bring immediate victory, but it surely leaves a mark, inspires others, and opens the door for miracles to happen. And who knows, perhaps your drop of water, so small and seemingly meaningless, might be the very one that soothes the flames and changes everything. That is why we must never stop trying. Do not sit idly waiting for miracles. Become part of the miracle through your own persistent actions. The story ends, but its echoes remain. Live like the little bird, brave, steadfast, and never giving up.